without Deshaun Watson last week, the Browns looked dead in the water, which meant without their normal backup against the 49ers, Cleveland had no shot against the best team in the NFL or one of them. But never tell them the odds. They're like Han Solo. They come back to beat the San Francisco 49ers 19-17 on a Jake Moody missed field goal at the end of the game. They survive behind PJ Walker, who did not exactly wrap himself in glory in this game. Jeff Lloyd from Locked On Browns, who always wraps himself in glory, joins us now. And Jeff, this is a defense that played inspired football a week after we thought their defense might be able to carry them and couldn't. What was the difference this week?
It's actually funny because one of the things I highlighted about this game is, if you have a tough day against the San Francisco 49ers, you don't just lose a game. You usually get beat up. But Christian McCaffrey left the field today. Deebo Samuel left the field today. The Browns defense, and obviously it got a little chummy early in the day, obviously before the game even started. And the Browns defense basically wanted to get the statement out there that, hey, we are still who we think we are, even though, hey, look, the offense is struggling. Obviously, we're on our third quarterback in our fifth game. Certainly not an ideal situation. But they went at him all day long. And keep in mind, this was a game where Myles Garrett did not have a Myles Garrett type day. Yeah. Obviously two encroachment penalties. But I thought overall they were just hats to the football. And, the Niners got their chunk plays, but there was, first and 10, and then it was second and 10, or it was second and 9, a long 9. They grinded it out all day long. And one of the things that I also find impressive was they went at the receivers. Their coverage was great. This was probably the first time where Brock Purdy kind of looked a little ordinary because where he had to be kind of perfect on some of these balls, he wasn't. And I think because part of it is guys aren't just nearly as wide open as he has been used to. But they played 50 minutes, and then all of a sudden it got to 17-13. Then, 17-16. You put all the pressure on Purdy. I don't know what San Francisco was thinking. 2 and change to go. They basically come out, and what did they do? They threw 3 straight passes. Chewed no time off the clock. Browns did not use any of their timeouts, put the Browns in a very advantageous situation. Obviously, the San Francisco 49ers offense perked up in that late seconds. And I sat there, watched it, and Peter, right in my head, I said, man, how many times have I said, oh, what a good effort today by the Cleveland Browns? And that ball usually goes through the uprights. But you know what? Eventually, the breaks beat the boys, and that was the case today for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, Brock Purdy, 12 of 27 with a touchdown and interception. He averaged 4.6 yards per attempt in this game. He didn't just look average or pedestrian. He looked pretty bad for a lot of the day, and a lot of that had to do, you mentioned the coverage. I thought Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah was outstanding in this game. And so we saw this defense able to carry this team. If Deshaun Watson continues to miss games, and we don't know, it seemed like he was closer this week than he was last week, but we still don't know the status. This seems like it's going to be a dogfight in the AFC North the whole way. How far can this defense take this Cleveland team?
I think the key was, and look, the defense obviously did a really, really good job today, but a lot of the criticism Coach Stefanski received after the Baltimore Raven loss, and granted, look, DTR doesn't have the NFL experience. PJ Walker has some pretty good NFL experience. He's had a 5-game run as a starter, of course, but a lot of the criticism coming out of that Raven game was that Coach Stefanski was didn't commit to the run, and Marlon Humphrey was just back, so trying to think he could throw the ball, and obviously they still have faith in their offensive line, even though they're not playing the capabilities that they have been playing in years past. But today the commitment was there. They stuck with running the football. And even in the first half, Jerome Ford had some runs, and it was like, look, kid, you got to stop going east and west, man. This is the NFL. You were not CJ2K. You cannot make these ad-lib. Just find the hole. And then in the second half, he was getting the hole and trusting himself more and running at full speed. And guess what? That's when you get your broken tackles. That's when all of a sudden a 3-yard runs become a 7-yard run. An 8-yard run becomes a 14-yard run. That's been the key is, trying to stick with what they are on offense. And for me, and this is what I keep trying to tell all Browns fans is, look, if this is what the team can look like and play this hard, Deshaun Watson at worst is better than this. He's at worst better than what DTR did against the Baltimore Ravens, which is why I think this team can still be a truly legit contender. Granted, everybody in the AFC North is kind of playing well. Cincinnati's kind of righting the ship now that Joe Burrow can move around a little bit. Pittsburgh is surprised, in my opinion, at 3-2. Baltimore now at 4-2. But I think, we were getting the nervousness of, oh man, did we just AFC West ourselves from 2022 with the AFC North? But I think for now, you're starting to see the AFC North is real. The problem is they're going to face each other, and there's going to be weeks where maybe a question is brought up about one team because somebody got the better of them. But overall, I have faith to where this product is, and I think Coach Stefanski, the play calling was fantastic today. There was an Njoku screen that should have been a touchdown. Obviously, it was called back by a penalty. There was another one later that was called back by a penalty. Coach Stefanski takes a lot of heat. I can see some of it at times. I don't see all of it. And of course, fans are going to fan. We all know that. And hey, you watch all you invest into it, you have every right to. But I think this team, and as good as they were in 2020 and all the strides they made in a crazy, wacky pandemic year, now it's the talent. And yes, did the coach have to rise to the talent? I think you're starting to see it today because he put together a really pretty good script today for a third string quarterback in PJ Walker.